Greetings and welcome to another installment of Pinball Stories. Mike here from PinballHelp.com. And in this series, I talk about some of the games in our collection, where they came from, and if there's any interesting stories or things behind the game. In this one, you see we have a Gottlieb electromechanical target alpha game. This is one of the 70s era Gottliebs. This is the four-player version of the more popular known game El Dorado. They also made a version of this. They made several different versions under different names. There was one called Canada Dry too. And if you know Gottlieb, one of the things they did is when they made different player versions, one-player version, two-player version, four-player version, they named them differently and they put different artwork on them. It's really cool that way because you can tell the difference between the games, and also just more opportunities for more beautiful artwork for their artists to do. Nowadays, you have a one title game with different versions of it, and a good bit of it is the same thing. Here, every game was different. Target Alpha was like Canada Dry, was like El Dorado and other similar games, but completely different theme. So this is a game, I have been wanting this game forever. What I really wanted was an El Dorado. I wanted the single player wedge head version of this game. And I've been searching for it for a long time. And this story of this game is really the story of getting sniped of the game I really wanted, which was El Dorado. We all have our short lists of games that if they ever pop up, this is what I want. And in our little collecting scene down here, we all kind of made we kind of made a deal with each other. It was like, look, um, if anybody's, if you've got, like, say, your top five games that you're looking for, and if nobody else is looking for those games, and something in your top five comes up, we all agreed, we'd help the other person out. So, like, if somebody was looking for, say, a Theater of Magic, and none of us were really that hot. It wasn't on our short list. If one came up and we found out about it, our deal was to turn our friends onto it. So that was kind of like a gentleman's agreement. A lot of the collectors in our scene had, and my one of the game on my short list was El Dorado. So I had been tracking down. I'd heard rumors there was one in the area for quite a long time, and I've been trying to find where it was. I just heard, somebody's got one for sale. Somebody's got, well, who, where? I got a guy's number. I called, left messages, never heard back. And then somebody in our group got a bead on it, and I said, "Hey, that's on my short list. I've been looking for that." And he said, "Okay, well, I'll look into it." And then he calls and says, "Hey, do you think I should buy it?" And I'm like, "What? You're asking? You knew this is on my short list." So he snagged it out from under me, and I wasn't really happy about that. I mean, a lot of people would say all's fair, and I mean it's all fair, but I wouldn't have done that to him. And the worst part is the guy that bought that game turned around and flipped it. He didn't even want the game. He just saw it as an opportunity, and then he called me and wanted me to help him and advise him on whether or not it was a good deal. And I kind of felt kind of betrayed by it. I mean, there's some people out there that'll be like, a deal is a deal until the money changes hands. And I understand that. But also, if you have a small circle of people that you consider friends that would help each other out, and somebody else is really hot for a machine, it's kind of a douchey thing to buy that machine and flip it. And I think he later felt guilty about it, and kicked a little bit of money back into the club out of his profits from it. But kind of the damage was done. It was very disappointing, and I'm sure everybody in the collector field knows people like that. You have some friends that they would give you a good deal, no questions asked, and you have other people that that if they come across a deal, they'll grab it out from under everybody else. They don't care if they can make some money or it's a good game. All's fair, and you know, there's different philosophies about what's good or bad, but I firmly fall into the camp of treat other people the way you'd like to be treated. And, if there's a game that, say, me and a couple of my friends are hot for, like I did a story about Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is one of those games where if a deal comes up, it's a free for all. Everybody understands that. But if it's a more obscure game that other people really don't care about, then for example, my Raven that I picked up, the Gottlieb Raven. I told everybody, if I find one of these games, I want them, and of course they all laugh like, "Don't worry, dude, we're not going to take it out from under you." But sometimes it's nice to have people looking out for each other, and so I missed out on the El Dorado. And a friend bought it and just turned around and flipped it. Flipped it and made a couple $100 or whatever, and that was really disappointing because it was one that I would have kept. I would have gotten and kept in the collection and shared with everybody. So years and years went by, and I knew I was probably not going to see another El Dorado. And then this Target Alpha showed up, and which is, it's not. I would have preferred to have the El Dorado because I think the single player versions have more interesting, little deeper rule sets than these multiplayers. But this is a gorgeous game, and I actually think I prefer the artwork on this to the El Dorado. So I picked this game up. Like, it wasn't super cheap, but it wasn't super expensive. And it's a beautiful version of the game. You can see there's a little tiny bit of flaking right around the H in the alpha. But other than that, it's a really good, beautiful game. It's got a lot, all the targets and everything. This almost looks like it was a home use game because it doesn't really seem to have any significant wear. So it's a beautiful conditioned version. And this is one of those Gottlieb electromechanicals that is pretty highly regarded. Everybody loves it. It's got a fun rule set. The more drop targets you have, the better. And, it's neat. It's not 100% bulletproof just yet, but it's getting there. Since it has so many drop targets, it just takes forever to count down on the bonus. I actually also like there's a solid state version of this called El Dorado City of Gold that I think is pretty neat. So it's a fun little game. I'm very happy that I finally got one. And when I see it, it reminds me of the El Dorado that I lost. But stuff happens. What goes around comes around. So I really believe, I'm not hating on the guy that did it. He has a different way of doing things than I am, but I like helping other people out, and I love it when other people help me out, and that's kind of to me the best way to handle these things. So just remember that things will always come around. If you can make somebody else happy finding the game that they really, really want, let them have it. I guarantee you, if you do that kind of stuff for other people, it will come around to you. Now, I'm not talking about any kind of cosmic energy or whatever, supernatural stuff, but I'm just saying it does happen. When you kind of pay it forward, other people pay it forward, and that kind of thing just and I've never not gotten paid back for doing something nice. Sometimes it seems like the whole world is full of ungrateful people that will just take you to the cleaners for a little bit of money. But the world you live in is the world you make. So I believe help other people out and things pop up. And so I consider that this kind of like a little cosmic thing of, all right, you missed out on that other game, but that's okay. There'll always be another opportunity, and so that's my Target Alpha. Beautiful artwork and everything, and you'll see this behind a lot of the Pin Church shows because it's kind of right back here. And so there you have it, another pinball story. I hope you guys are enjoying these. If there's a particular game or anything, any questions, stuff you want to ask, feel free to email Mike at PinballHelp.com. Visit us on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, YouTube/PinChurch and YouTube/PinballHelp. Until next time, thank you guys for watching.